So we are here in Sedona. It's just before 9 a.m. and we are starting the 7 Sacred Ponds and Soldiers Pass hike. And I'm very excited. And there's just mountains and red everywhere and these lovely pines and desert plants, and it's just going to be a great day. Can't wait. And then tonight I might make it all the way to Vegas, so wouldn't be surprised. I'm on top of the world. Soldiers Pass, Sedona. See that little crack? That crack is an adventure. I'm thankful that I was able to climb out of there, because definitely it would not be the easiest thing for everybody to do. But now I'm up on this beautiful, beautiful spot. Can't wait to meditate around here. And maybe there's another ledge to look at or something. But wow, what an adventure this is. Love, love, love it. So check this out. This is nuts. Completely insane in the membrane. Definitely would have wanted my bear spray if I did this during the summer. But here in the winter, I don't have that. So I was a little nervous to meet somebody local up here, if you know what I mean. But thankfully, all I've seen is elk trail, rabbit, some squirrels. Nothing too offensive, but wow. Down there is the Soldiers Pass trail that I climbed up to get here. I wonder what that white structure is on that other hill, or is that just behind it? I can't tell right now. But yeah, what an amazing thing. You can see people down on the trail. I just saw something. This crack over here is really interesting. You can see how it goes all the way up the mountain. And wow, like just wow. This might not be the biggest mountain, but it was the one that called my name when I was at the bottom of it. So here we are. Wow. They don't really have any mountains in Ontario, so I've never really been around mountains, but I tell you, I'm really liking them. They're quite fun. Some badass slipped in there at some point. Don't know how many badasses have slipped there, but definitely some. Anyway, might as well do this last little bit to this other peak. See you in a bit. I'm going to meditate for a little bit and then descend probably the same way it came up. It's pretty amazing that they can take a helicopter down here. I love that. Okay, I just did the bulk of the hard part of the Soldiers Pass trail. And look at it, like it's a lot. But I mean, it's hard to tell from this angle. I didn't just climb that. I had to go climb that too. Which you can't tell, but it's another 3,000 feet taller than this. Something like that, roughly. It was nuts. I'm surprised I'm alive. I did fall a little bit, a few feet. Luckily, it wasn't in the worst spot. This ground you can see here, very volatile. And some of the rocks, they look like they'd be stable. And I had 50-pound rocks start to move on me. So it's a good thing I have the experience to, for moving, to go, hey, like let's check this before we do it. Anyway, having having a great adventure, having a great time. Thankfully, I didn't get injured. Just got some bruises and maybe a little bit of bloodshed, but nothing I'm not able to deal with, so didn't slow me down much. Look forward to cleaning up those wounds and maybe visiting a local in a bit here. We'll see if he's still available. Much love. It's pretty hard to compete with these views, let me tell you.
I'll wait for the picture one. He kind of disappointed. He's like, let's go back to the car. So disappointed. Aqui o pessoal já foi embora, mas é muito mais cheio. Late for a bakery. Yeah. But like below like 60th of a second, it's kind of right towards the curve because otherwise it shakes. You rest it. Yeah, I can. I mean, but also I've got so many photos on this like.
Good evening.
Good evening.
How you doing?
Very well.
Excellent.
You as well?
Yes. What a magical place.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Yes, truly. All right, so this is the morning of February 3rd. I woke up on the west end of Sedona at a place I could sleep overnight, went to breakfast at a place called Jose's or something like that. It was great, but unfortunately, my camera didn't take a picture of that. Here you can see a little bit of a map of the area, and here's me starting to take pictures of Devil's Kitchen. So I got to the trail around 9, and yeah, it's a 7 Sacred Ponds trail that leads into the Soldiers Pass trail, which is an amazing hike filled with beauty. There was no water in any of the ponds this time of year, but that's okay. It was magnificent. And then getting to the Soldiers Pass part, you climb up like between some giant rocks, and it's rather intimidating. I don't think most people could do it, just based on the intimidation of going across this like thin little bridge. You can see this is the entrance to it, this thin little bridge, and you're like 20 feet up. So definitely not for the faint of heart, but it was quite amazing for those that are brave enough. Here's a little bit more of the inside, and you can see on the top there. And it gets thinner than this, but again, this is the inside of Soldier's Pass that you got to climb up. And there on the left, you can see the sketchiest of it. Yeah, you get like, I don't know, 1.5 feet wide and then 20 feet drop. And so here's up on top of Soldier's Pass. And it was so beautiful, so breathtaking. Like everywhere you look, it was just magnificent. Love that view. And you can imagine too, like this was all under the ocean at one point. That's how it formed this way. So definitely use your imagination. Here's my proof. I got on top of the tip. Checked my GPS. I was like, can't go any higher here. And there's a nice rock to lay on. I laid on for a bit, meditated. And here's the profile picture I shared. What a magnificent day that was. What a magnificent moment in time. So thankful to be able to connect back into these wonderful places because they are magical and breathtaking. Here you can see some of the rock, and climbing up where I did, there was no trail at the end after you get on top of Soldier's Pass. So I had to make up my own trail, and like some of the rocks, they're really loose, like even 50-pound rocks. You put weight on them and you test them, and wow, okay, that's falling down the hill behind me now. So that happened to me at least a couple times, and really adds to the challenge. Here's some local vegetation that looked interesting. You could definitely see some of the trees were twisted, and it's pretty awesome. As you can see, I'm shirtless there, and there's some animal tracks that made me nervous. Made me pick up a bigger rock, just in case. I do believe that blue-green is iron byproduct, iron algae. I don't know. Please educate me if you know. And here it is looking down from the top of Soldier's Pass. And there's what the hill, the mountain I climbed after I got on top of Soldier's Pass. That was the look. Jesus is king. We can all agree, or most of us anyway. Sorry if I seem a little out of breath. I'm in the process of working out. I've tried to record this a few times and I kept getting technical issues, so hopefully today is the day I get it out to you. Look at all that cutting into the rock there by water and everything. Here's another view from inside Soldier's Pass. I must have left by then, and that's me looking back up at it. And here's one of the many buggies that tour around the area. There's some tour places. This is me planning the trip to Devil's Bridge. And it's funny because my battery was low as I was going to Devil's Bridge. And so on the way back, I actually lost my phone charge completely and actually didn't know where my car was. I actually had to walk 1.5 kilometers down the road to get back to my car. So good reminder to plan ahead, be safe, have your phone charged. There's Devil's Bridge. You can see the arch as it curved under there. And you saw in the video earlier, I walked across the bridge. You could hear me breathing heavily. And I think it was more like the height. Here I am on the tip of Devil's Bridge. There's a big gap in there. You can see just above my head. Magical views again. I loved all my selfies this day. You can just tell I was just so happy. Normally I wouldn't take that many selfies, but that was a day of selfies. Love looking at the geological differences from top to bottom there. And it was interesting. I had a local guy that my friend Jewel was hooking me up with to meet. And as I finished the first hike, I got a text from him, and I didn't notice until many, many hours later. You just saw Mustafa's Rock. You see the twisted trees from the vortexes. So anyway, this friend whose text I missed, I ended up meeting up with around 8 o'clock that night. And he is the reason I got to fully experience all the vortexes. Because if it wasn't for him, I probably would have kept going. But due to his wisdom and advice, he convinced me to go to the crystal show. Obviously not for himself, but for me. That's a cave I didn't do, the birthing cave. Oh, see, I got some red in my face. Another big happy selfie. That was when I got to the airport, Vortex. And here I am meditating as the sun dipped away, and I had to do the last kilometer and a half in the dark, which was a-okay. It's pretty urban. There's the big bruise I got from falling down the cliff. So there you have it, everybody. That's February 3rd. I experienced the vortexes, realized how powerful they were, and then when I met my new friend there that I met in Sedona, we hung out for an hour and a bit, and he really helped articulate the value and the excitement and the purpose of the vortexes for humankind and animal kind, nature kind. And yeah, I was super happy to have met this person, send them love, blessings, abundance as much as I can. And thank him so much, because yeah, that opened the window for me to experience the other 3 vortexes. And I was privileged on February 5th. You'll see at some point. On February 5th, I got to do all the vortexes in one day. So February 4th, you'll check out. I was in Phoenix and Tucson at the Crystal and Mineral Show. And then February 5th, did all the vortexes. And it was so worth it. It was so amazing. Anyway, thanks for checking out my videos. Much love. God bless.